All right, Mr. DeMille, I'm ready for my close-up.
Hey, it's Monday. It's time for Versus. Today on the show, The Naked Gun. Is it a hit or a bomb? We'll discuss it. We've got our usual crew, plus Paul Chato is joining us on the show today. And also, Fantastic Four. Is it a fantastic bomb? We'll discuss it. Plus your comments and questions and your concerns. Let's start the show. Let's get things going. Alan is here, and he has a lot to say.
He likes dick.
Alan will explain himself, so let's go. Let's start the show. It's Monday. It's Versus on a Monday. Hey, everybody. Hey, people who show up on time, thank you for being here. Steph, Badger, and Paul.
Chris,
and
you might be on the wrong mic.
Yeah, you might
be
be
saying you sound a little.
Am I on the wrong mic?
I think you are, yes.
Yeah.
Oh, well, let's fix that.
We need those full dulcet tones to come through.
No, I like the sound of Chris talking through a tin can.
Hi, Alan.
Yeah, but anyway, this is Versus. Hey, let's go around the horn and introduce yourselves. Hold on, here we go. Steph, you.
What's up? I'm Steph, my nerdy home, and I think the internet consensus is that Sydney Sweeney does in fact have great genes.
Oh, I'm eating nuts. Sorry, that doesn't sound good at all.
One likes dick, the other likes nuts. Today we're going to have to explain what a flop is. And even if you like a movie, if it doesn't make its budget back, it flopped. It flopped.
Back. Yeah. Thank you. I get another chance at this. I'm Paul Chato. My channels call me Chato, and I'm so thrilled always to be on Versus because we can get loud and aggressive and argue about stuff and still remain friends.
Penis dick.
That's redundant.
Yes, and is the Bombastic Four a bomb? We'll talk about it on Versus.
Okay, let's go. So let's see who's here in the chat really quick. Go, Badger.
Shout out Himbry Jeremiah for 5. How would you compare the new Naked Gun movie to the old Naked Gun movies, and who's better?
Hold that thought. We'll get to it.
Andrew Cram,
we'll go
thank
back.
you. Gifted 1 Film Threat membership. Shout out.
Thank you, Andrew. Appreciate you.
Butter Biscuit, member for 6 months. So when are you guys going to have Culture Casino on the show? Give that man some more. He wants us to expose ourselves, or expose him rather.
All right.
We
got if he shows up on time, he's in.
That's clearly his mother's secret account.
Yeah.
John Mann, member for 36 months. It was a fantastic naked weekend. Speaking of naked weekends, happy birthday, Robert.
Thank you. And
happy birthday, Rob. Appreciate you.
It was a very naked weekend.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Okay, well, let's get into it. Alan, the box office.
Yes.
How did FF do its second weekend? How did Naked Gun do its first? Go through, give me the numbers starting at number 1.
Okay, well, coming in at number 1, coming in strong is the Fantastic Four First Steps with almost $39 million and only a 67% drop. It would have been bad if it was 69%, though.
Would it have been?
I think so. If it was 69%, absolutely. Bad Guys 2 comes in second, beating out Naked Gun for $22 million. Naked Gun at 16.8, and then Superman drops to number 4 at 13.7 million, followed by Jurassic World Rebirth a new movie Together, starring Alison Brie and Dave Franco. F1, the movie, hangs in there. And then I Know What You Did Last Summer, and somehow the Smurfs wants to stay in the top 10.
So let's look at these numbers. F1 is actually back on IMAX screens, I think, in a week. That is great news. And Together, a low budget horror movie with Dave Franco, Alison Brie, debuting with 6.7 million, total gross 10.8 million. That's really good. It expanded. It was in few theaters and then it expanded. But 10 million for a horror film, with basically two people in it, small cast. So what do we take away from this? The big takeaway is Naked Gun's debut, I think, was soft. I expected more. 16.8 million. Number 3, not great. The Bad Guys 2, which was good. I like The Naked Gun much better as a comedy. 21.9 million. I call it 22 million. Fantastic Four First Steps is down 67%. That's bad. I think 500 million is the new billion for Marvel. Really, they have, if they are to survive, I think there's clearly a lot of interest in Marvel films, not as much as there used to be, like by half.
Yeah, well, we don't have China and, some of the other big places.
What do we take away from all these numbers? The big stories being Naked Gun debut and FF's colossal drop off. Chime in.
Well, I would say
if there's anything consistent about Marvel movies, it's their inconsistency. And I think that so far people have lost the trust in Marvel. They don't really know whether or not the movie is going to be good. Like, they've had flop and then a hit and then a flop and then a hit, and they've liked some things, they've made some things that are terrible. And so people have completely their core fan base are the ones that went and saw this movie, and they just don't exist anymore. It's not enough to carry the franchise anymore. Marvel has turned off a lot of people to their products with all of the terrible Disney Plus shows going into the MCU and leaning into that very, very heavily, and really pissing families off. They've sort of just gone away from that. So them leaning into, and another thing is just the Pedro Pascal fatigue as well. So people are just like, oh, he's in another movie. So Marvel is just inconsistent, and people they've lost trust with the audience. And yeah, Kevin Feige probably was getting excited about how well Superman was doing, and probably hoping that people would get rehyped for superhero movies, and hoping that people who like Superman would possibly go and see Fantastic Four too, because they had it reinvigorated their superhero hype. But that just didn't happen for the Fantastic Four, and I think it's just because the Marvel brand is tarnished. People don't look at it and see it the same way that they used to.
What I find interesting is Disney as a whole. They either produce billion-dollar movies or bombs. And I think Fantastic Four is probably the mid movie, their first mid movie in a very long time.
Yeah. Well, I'd also like to point out that you have 3 previous Fantastic Four films that didn't do as well as this Fantastic Four movie.
Yep.
And if you look at the actual first films of new characters in the MCU, Black Panther did well because we met Black Panther in Civil War. Right. But if you go back and you look at Iron Man 1 made $500 million. Doctor Strange, I think, was 600 million, 650 or something like that. So in a way, this film first of all has an uphill climb to make because of previous Fantastic Four films. 2, you have what's been going on with the Marvel in phases 4 and 5.
30 some odd movies in between those first 2 you mentioned, Iron Man and kept, a
lot of inconsistency lately. And I think it's doing okay. I don't think they thought this was going to make $1 billion. There was no reason to assume that. So if you think about something like Doctor Strange being, or any new character somewhere between Doctor Strange, Black Panther was a hit. If this movie ekes out between 500 and 600 million, leading into Spider-Man, leading into Avengers Endgame, I think that's a pretty good result for this movie. Where a lot of people are screaming, it's a bomb. It's already made, it's closing in on $400 million already. And it's got basically the rest of August to make money. And if they leave it in in theaters for the next month, it very well might get to $600 million, which would be not a huge result, but certainly not a bomb.
Yeah, good for Disney. I mean, that's the thing. Any movie would love to get the box office that Fantastic Four got. Is that a bomb? Baiju, you mentioned it because it didn't make its money back, but still, that's an awful lot of money. $600 million is an awful lot of money, and I think it's not a bomb, but it's also a bad business decision on Marvel's part to have spent that kind of money to make a movie.
Break even, right? At 600, that's a
$200
million budget.
Right, but when you talk about people who go into the theater and see it, that's a lot of people. That's a lot of people shelled out cash.
Still acknowledge it's at least a lost leader, even if it's getting some people back on board.
There's also things that I think are not understood. For instance, they don't get to put this movie on Disney Plus for free. Disney Plus has to pay a licensing fee to show these movies. Yeah. And so then you've got branding deals, there's and this will have a revenue stream for a while. And this is part of a much larger, I mean, somebody says that I'm a joke in the chat and that I'm coping hard. Look, I'm a student of the entertainment business. I have been my whole life. I produce movies myself. So it's
that was me that wrote that, by the way.
Oh, well, there you go. I appreciate that.
To Robert's point, they do make money. That was what F1 was talking about, to their sponsorship deals, to licensing out later. Mm-hmm. Daredevil Born Again was just on FX. So they find ways to make their money back.
Well, and that's the thing. People don't understand that movies are an ongoing, each movie that is made is its own LLC. And then the LLC gets purchased by the studio when it's finished, it's completed. So every movie is itself. I was a producer on Agent Cody Banks and its sequel. I developed that movie. I still get statements from MGM 20 years later. So, I mean, movies never stop, especially movies like the Fantastic Four that are part of the Marvel Pantheon. They continue to make money and they continue to drive a whole engine. And in terms of the MCU, all of those movies work in tandem. They support theme parks. They support all different kinds of things. So I think it's forgotten. I mean, I understand how everybody who's online believes themselves to be all studio accountants and understand exactly how much money is paid. I mean, I get that. I really do. I never took those studio accounting courses. I just worked at the studio and, made movies. So what do I know?
Yeah. What do you know?
The only thing that I would have issue with what you said is that Disney Plus licensing the movie is more like kiting credit cards.
Yeah, it's Peter paying Paul,
Right, but they still have to do it because remember, there are people, there are the guilds, the guilds have an ongoing, they're both the WGA, the IATSE, the DGA, and also they run into those things. They've had lawsuits because when Fox was dealing to itself, like when X-Files was going on to FX, they weren't paying top dollar for the syndication rights. So Chris Carter said, look, man, I own this show and you are undercutting my money. I'm suing you. Right. Just like Peter Jackson sued Warner Brothers for proceeds for Lord of the Rings.
Yeah,
so
but it's one thing when Disney Plus pays a licensing fee to Marvel versus Starz or HBO Max paying a licensing
100%.
That's actual money coming to the company.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I mean, it's certainly not $1 billion, but I mean, we talked about this on the John Campea show this morning. How many movies like Brad Pitt in F1? F1 is the most successful movie of Brad Pitt's career now, box office wise. It surpassed World War Z. Yeah, from pure box office perspective, and you think to yourself, well, isn't Brad Pitt has never been in a movie that's grossed more than $600 million ever, and that's wild to think.
But when it comes to Marvel, though, right? Marvel has always been, from just a general audience member, not really looking into like box office or whatever. Just someone who's noticed all of these things, which is how I'm looking at it, right? All of the movies that you mentioned, they have had almost immediate return on investment for these Marvel movies, whereas now it's like the conversation has shifted to it doesn't have to immediately make money these Marvel movies will eventually make money. So you'll eventually have a return on investment. And I think that that's the conversation that's happening online, whereas the Marvel movies used to make really a lot of money, right? In that first month, like they made their money back and then some. They were actually profitable. They weren't looking at breaking even as a successful point. If you're going to invest in these movies, you don't look to just break even. You want to make money, which is where Marvel was in the past. Whereas now it's like, hey, if it breaks even, that's a success for Marvel, because eventually it'll start making money and they'll get, their money back with residuals or whatever. That's the comparison that's being made right now. That's why people are saying Marvel, Fantastic Four is a flop.
It's where
As
Marvel
of right now,
was.
it is a flop. It's not. It's a flop right now at the box office. It might eventually make money later, but as of right now, it is considered a flop.
Well, wait a minute. I just want to point out that the Marvel money that everybody talks about generating is post-Avengers. Captain America, the first Avenger, when it came out in 2011, domestically grossed $176 million and internationally grossed $193 million for a total worldwide gross of $370 million. That was the first Captain America movie.
Yeah, but the MCU didn't exist yet, right? Like they were still building.
You were 4 years into the MCU there.
Comparative to now, I mean.
But exactly. But what but there's your post-COVID, less people are going to the movies. You have the entire landscape change because of streaming. So when people talk about how much movies are grossing, it's not happening in a vacuum.
Right, but
the
then Lilo
world
and Stitch
itself
made $1 billion.
Less people going to the movies is, to me, that feels like a cope, because a Minecraft movie made $1 billion. Wicked did well. There are movies that are successful because people want to go and see them. So if you make something that is great, it will generate an audience. And right now, Marvel has pushed away their audience. They have to win that back. They have to gain some trust back, because the whole thing with fewer people are going to the movies. No, I think that people will go to the movies to see something that they want to go and see. It doesn't matter if it's that terrible Jurassic Park movie that came out. People know what they're going to go see when they go see a Jurassic Park movie. They're going to go see giant dinosaurs. And that's why, they know what they're getting into with Jurassic Park movies.
But the last 3 Jurassic Park movies, but they made over $1 billion. They made over $1 billion. And this Jurassic Park movie is far behind the last 3 Jurassic World movies. Minecraft was based on a video game platform that has been incredibly successful with an entire generation. So you can't really compare and contrast a single Minecraft movie with 37 Marvel films that have had an entire lifespan. And and how do you explain the outliers of Spider-Man No Way Home?
Because it had Sony production and Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield.
Well, that's right, but it
had 20 years of nostalgia attached to it.
Of course, and so did the Minecraft movie had 20 years of people playing Minecraft.
It had chicken jockey and viral marketing.
But the Fantastic Four movie is fighting against 3 previous Fantastic Four movies.
But then explain Lilo and Stitch and explain How to Train Your Dragon not doing nearly as much.
You're comparing totally different things. Yeah, they're all movies, but you have to look at the How to Train Your Dragon. By the way, the live action How to Train Your Dragon is going to wind up being the most successful film in that franchise, because you have 3 beloved animated films that have existed and they all did very well. People have watched them, and so everybody who grew up with those movies you can't take a children's franchise and compare it necessarily to these Fantastic Four movies. Not all movies are the same, nor do they exist in the same ecosystem. They're certainly movies, but they're, in terms of their product, like Lilo and Stitch is again 20 years of beloved. That's a beloved. It's one, there's a few others, but it's a beloved film. And then when you make a live action version of it, that's the only one that there is. So you have a generation of people that grew up with it. Some of them have kids and are taking their kids to see those movies. And the Disney animated films are live in a different ecosystem than the Marvel movies do.
Yeah.
Well, I'll just say maybe one of the silver lining here is all the F4 merch is going to be cheap. And this is purely anecdotal, but I was at the movies this weekend and they had popcorn buckets. They had the Herbie popcorn bucket, all these other buckets. They had a lot of, and those normally sell out day one. So what do we make of the failure? Is this a sign? Is the market cap for a Marvel movie lowered now? What do we think?
Yes. China, yes.
I wish we would lower the cap for all movies. And I remember when a movie hit $100 million, that was the gold standard. And very few movies hit it. And it was really exciting. It was newsworthy. Maybe I was manipulated by the magazines and things like that. I totally accept that. But that was not only that was a really great goal to reach, but you could still make money way below that. My concern is that we have this ridiculous level now. Let's say now it's 500 million, and if you don't hit that, no one makes any money. I mean, it's just so screwed up.
You can't have $200 million movies then constantly.
No, you can't.
We just talked about Together. It made what, $12 million, and that's considered a hit. You know, it's the economics. It's the fact that it used to be that studios knew their audiences, had a good projection of how many people would buy tickets to see it, and then budgeted the movie based on that so that it became profitable. I mean, look, Lady Ghostbusters made $250 million, and that's considered a flop. And
right,
you know, and it goes to the point here. We're spending way too much money to make these movies, and for them, you know, for Avatar to have to make $1 billion just to break even, the economics of the movie business is out of control, and it's no wonder it's failing.
But Avatars, I mean, you're talking about, you know, outliers, and the thing about, I'll give you an example. When they made Blade Runner 2049, they spent like $175 million on that film. My question would be, why? The original Blade Runner was a flop. Within film circles is Blade Runner considered to be this, you know, this incredible. It's an incredible vision.
It's a cult classic, yes.
Cult classic, but it's a cult classic. And yet the studio goes, yeah, let's spend $175 million. I love Blade Runner 2049, but it didn't earn out. And the idea that somebody just figured a Blade Runner. Now, sometimes the first Terminator cost $6.5 million to make. $6.5 million. And Terminator 2 cost the first $100 million movie. And it made $500 million. But nowadays, the studios, I think they don't even know how to make these movies at scale anymore. They're just assuming they're going to spend $200 million. Why do you have to spend? How come you can't only spend $150 million on a Fantastic Four movie? Why do you have to spend $200 million? There's no reason, really, other than the fact that they throw too much. If they pulled back, they might be able to spend less. I would assume that Fantastic Four costs less. I don't know what the reported budget is.
It has to be technique too, because Godzilla minus what? Like, clearly there were people that knew how to do more with less, and they have people that don't know how to do more. So they
but they don't have to pay the kind of union fees. They don't have to pay IATSE, so all the people on crew
are like
paid far less.
Looking at like the Acolyte, where they paid all that money, or you know, for like ridiculous amount for like walking scenes. It's like clearly there's bloat that needs to be cut away to have Paul's desired result.
Yeah, but here's the thing: even if you cut away the bloat, man, I mean, I guess what no one is really saying, man, is that at the end of the day, especially when it comes to the MCU, the audience has lost trust. Period. I mean, there's nothing you can do once that happens, man. And if you look at, okay, I can see if they rebounded this year, right? No, every movie has been a failure. Captain America, Thunderbolts, Daredevil should have been a home run on Disney Plus. Should have been a home run, easily. Failed. Yeah. Then we get Ironheart. Then we get the Fantastic Four. So even if they cut their budgets, man, I don't know if there's any saving the MCU right now. And believe me when I say this is leaking into Doomsday. So it's not, this isn't going to save them. And then you have Robert Downey Jr., who's not taking a pay cut, who's getting like $100 million just himself, right?
Yeah.
This is foolishness, man.
Yeah, he's getting like $100 million, a huge trailer, like space on the lot.
It's a compound, essentially. Yes.
Yeah.
But let's be honest. Also,
he brought back like the Russo brothers, I think, which. So
his
yeah,
return was
I think Robert Downey Jr.
directing.
is a different case because he got paid next to nothing to do Iron Man,
Right.
and the bloated salary he gets is the payout saying thank you for creating this universe.
Yeah, but
It's also based on previous
they
performance.
can't afford this now. They can't do this now. Like they just can't.
But
So
you know,
I mean, yeah, maybe they owe him that, but they can't afford that.
Yeah, but I don't think people are going to see Doom. I think less people will see Doomsday if it didn't have Robert Downey Jr. in it than if it did.
I'm not sure. I think Robert Downey Jr. is kind of everything else he does outside of Marvel is Dr. Dolittle.
He's lost some of his shine to a lot of people. Yes, he was good in Oppenheimer, and if he did come back, bro, we wanted to see Tony Stark, not him as Doom. So it's like
I would have preferred him as Iron Man in Oppenheimer.
You know,
that would have made sense.
A movie like somebody said it's expensive to make movies in Japan. It is, but Godzilla -1 has been reported that it cost between $10 and $15 million total. And if you watch that video they put out for the Oscars, there was an effects team that was 35 people.
Right.
If you look at how many people work on effects on these Marvel movies, it's hundreds of people scattered all over the world. You have effects companies. Yeah, and every shot when you shoot against a green screen, every shot now in a Marvel movie is an effect shot. You're either removing wires, you're doing something, and that is why the costs of those movies have skyrocketed.
There is an asterisk to that, and you real quick, because even the effects artist said we're overworked. There's no finality of vision. They constantly change their minds.
Yeah.
We don't have time to go over things multiple passes, and that also there's veterans and there's new. You know what I'm saying? That is definitely a part of it.
100%.
And then add the acting, the cast on top of it.
One of my best friends was an animator with God damn it, the Disney thing they bought.
Disney animation?
From Steve Jobs.
Pixar.
Pixar, thank you. That's what the 70-year-old mind is gone. So I have who worked on several of the original Pixar movies, and he said that when they were in the room, they would render everything that they possibly needed, and if they needed to do a pickup shot, they would argue it forever because they couldn't afford, the extra 10 seconds of rendering time. Of course, things have changed, but computers are being abused. The power of computers, the power of servers, all that's being abused, and the producers on these shows just don't have any idea what what Badger said. They have no respect for any of these technical individuals. Oh, we'll just save it in post. Oh, we'll just add another 3D thing. It costs money, and it costs human lives. 3D studios have been taken down just because they got burned out. So, I mean, Hollywood producers have no respect for the 3D companies at all. Crunch time. It's everything crunch time. Everything's crunch time.
Yeah. They don't know. I mean, there's even the directors of these movies. Colin Trevorrow made $1 million movie, then gets tapped to direct Jurassic World, and that makes over $1 billion. Where's Colin Trevorrow right now?
Who else said that? That the script writing, when they write these big scenes with no idea of what that would actually take to accomplish, and just a basic knowledge of that would lead scripts to being more.
Well, I think the Transformers. I saw a copy of the Michael Bay script. The fighting scenes were, and Transformers fight,
and George Lucas, and they fight, and
then someone goes, okay, how long is this going to go? Like a minute, 2 minutes, whatever. So suddenly those and they fight, those 3 words are $100 million. $100 million words.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think part of it also, someone mentioned the blob is too huge to manage. The higher ups are removed from actual people doing the actual work. When you look at that Godzilla -1 BTS, it was the director working directly with the people. He had like this chair that he would roll from one station to another and give notes. And there are good effects being done now. I mean,
he was also an effects guy. He came from effects.
He came from that. And if you look at Dune Part 1 and 2, the effects are amazing. It's a more involved director that understands it. So I also think that digital has changed things in the last couple decades. I mean, when you can shoot endlessly, there's nothing precious about every take. When you shoot on film, and Rob, you did it.
Right.
It's precious. We've got enough for 3 takes. Most indie movies are 3-to-1 shooting ratio when you're shooting on film, right? So it's more precious to get it right, to do your all. And I think now it's just quantity and product. We've got other news stories here and a lot of comments.
And
Final
those hard
thoughts
drives.
on Fantastic Four, and then I want to talk Naked Gun. Final thoughts from everyone on FF.
I think the Fantastic Four was a fine movie. My thing is this: I liked it, but the problem with it was, number one, Fantastic Four has never been a big franchise ever. Even amongst comic book fans, it's niche, right? Like, not everybody read the Fantastic Four.
I respect it, but I'm not going to run out and
It's
read
fine,
it.
it was
Yeah.
number
Yeah,
one.
when I was younger, anyway, like Fantastic Four wasn't a must-read kind of a thing. It was never X-Men,
Yeah.
right? Or Spider-Man or any of those. So it was already niche. And I think the problem with Disney is that they don't understand at a fundamental, they don't understand their characters. Because if they did, they would have budget accordingly, right? Fantastic Four should never have been a super huge, big budget film as far as money goes, because it's not a big franchise. They would have promoted it better. And here's the thing: the other big part of that is, if they knew the characters, they never would have cast Pedro Pascal as Reed Richards. If they knew the characters, right?
They don't know the characters, and they don't realize why we like the characters.
Right.
So they have just this
For
weird,
the
like-
niche people who do like it, they don't understand that.
And I think that the fact that Pedro Pascal wasn't their first choice, other people passed on it, speaks volumes. Nobody wants to be in a
I
Marvel
passed.
movie anymore.
And a lot of
out.
other people are passing on future Marvel projects right now.
Mhm.
Well, the other thing is these movies rely on repeat business, and clearly we saw no one's going back. I took my wife to see it the other day. She loved it, but she has no desire to go see it again. And I'll also point to the fact that the first 20 minutes is about Sue getting pregnant, or
Yeah.
Sue being pregnant. That's
Okay,
not a
heteronormative.
superhero film.
Nuclear family. That was nice. It was pro family at least.
Yeah, but that doesn't inspire you to go back and want to see it
Yeah.
again. That's what movies used to do. You watch it,
Mhm.
and then the first thought is, I need to see this again.
That
I
movie
saw
had a
the
lot
Winter
cut
I saw
out.
the Winter Soldier in the theater 6 times.
Yeah, I saw the first Avengers movie 7 times with my 10-year-old daughter at the time.
As much as I liked the movie, because I did like Fantastic Four, I think rewatchability, Superman has the rewatchability out of those two. But I think it's done. I think it's dead. If it makes money in the future, then that's something different. Once it goes on not streaming, what is it? The other thing. If you
DVD.
can buy it and watch it at home.
VOD.
Digital,
Yeah.
just- yeah.
But I think Marvel is clearly moving on from it, because all I've seen this for the past few days is all the news about Tom Holland's Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they're moving on.
Yeah,
They're
and that's
getting people
barely
hyped
more.
for Spider-Man.
Let's pivot before we go to comments and talk about The Naked Gun. Alan this morning sent me, I don't know if any of you saw this. It's from a completely different era. This came out around the time of Naked Gun. It's The Naked Bun, 8.5. That's a movie that exists according to Alan.
Oh my god, I reviewed the wrong movie.
You might have reviewed the wrong movie. But what do we think about The Naked Gun?
I might or might not have seen The Naked Bun. I'm just
Yeah.
saying.
I just remember all those bad porn parodies. My favorite title was To Live and Shave in LA.
Is this just
Robert
on
was
my
in
end?
this. Yeah, Robert, did you go
There was
back in the
another one
background?
called Backside to the Future, which was a Back to
Oh,
the Future
no.
parody.
My
How does that
favorite porn title was Saving Ryan's Privates.
Yeah.
No, it's Shaving Ryan's Privates.
Shaving
there you
Ryan's
go.
Privates. Sorry,
What
that's
did we think of The Naked Gun? Is comedy back? Are there other comedy franchises that will make a return?
It's on the road.
I think,
to
I
being
think
back.
the consensus is it was very good. It was not great, but I had a great time at the movies. For those who saw it, to me, wall-to-wall funny, didn't overstay its welcome. It's like little over 80 minutes. The credits are funny. Now, to be fair, I did see it with a crowd. It was every seat full. It was nuts. So I had a great time. Anyone else want to chime in with their thoughts?
I thought it was mid. I thought it was mid. As a joke writer, that entire first fight sequence needed to be better. It was really quite dull. I think I was really happy to see Pam Anderson being so funny. I think she's fantastic. In fact, I would like her to be the next Frank Drebin. Frances Drebin. I thought she was fantastic. In many ways, I thought she was more deadpan than Liam Neeson. Liam Neeson was reaching for jokes that Leslie Nielsen never really reached for. I did miss. I like Liam, but he needed he needed a George Kennedy, and the fellow that was acting opposite him just didn't have it. Again, that one of the rules of the Zucker brothers, Abram Zucker brothers projects is that they fill it with has-been serious actors, and there weren't enough has-been serious actors in this movie. And to me, that would have been fun if it was John Goodman or someone like that. Not that he's a has-been, but I mean,
to your point, I like Danny Houston, but that was the wrong villain. They need
and that too. Like
they need a bigger star that you wouldn't expect to be a villain to play that villain role.
Right. And in 2.5, they had the most perfect has-been personality, Robert Goulet.
Yeah. Then Ricardo Montalban in the first one.
Yeah, but he's good. But I'm saying I get the gag. The gag is you have to get someone in that Robert Goulet kind of, who I know him. What's he doing as the bad guy? Like he's so perfect because he's bad. If it was Engelbert Humperdinck or Zamfir or someone, you know what I mean? Like you're immediately laughing at the choices they've made. And one of the problems I had with this movie is that you were not immediately laughing at the choices they made. And after I saw the movie, I went home and watched the first 16 minutes of the first Naked Gun movie, and I laughed more in those first 16 minutes than I did the entire this entire 2025 version. That doesn't mean it's not a good movie. Doesn't mean there aren't some big laughs. We all know which are the biggest laugh. To me, actually, to tell you the truth, I didn't think they had enough reaction takes from normal people to the idiocy of what Frank was doing, which is that's another standard thing in all the Naked Gun movies is Frank Drebin gets involved in some stupid thing. It's something masterfully embarrassing, and then you see other people reacting to it, and that was his incontinence and his police car cam.
I agree with you, Paul. I think
with laughter during that.
I agree with you, Paul. I think side characters like Paul Walter Hauser, who was the proxy for George Kennedy, totally underused. Yeah, totally underused. They needed the OJ. Apparently, they did cut out a bunch of stuff with the OJ proxy.
No doubt.
And like you, I went back, I watched all 3 Naked Guns. They were great. The opening of the third one, where they do a nod to the Untouchables, and there's the baby carriages going down the steps, is that you can find that. Just watch that sequence. It's 5
OJ was gonna spike a baby.
Yes, spike a baby. Like it's just it's out of control over there. And OJ is great. That scene where they go to shoot him and his hand goes on the door that's painted saying wet paint. Like, everything goes wrong. Like it's ridiculous.
Yeah, we don't have those. We don't have the memorable memes from this movie. Right. Not as many of them. And I think there's one point in the movie that demonstrates my problem with it, and that they didn't quite get the zeitgeist of the original movie. In that, in the trailer and in the movie, you will remember a black actor looking at a picture of O.J. Simpson and then shaking his head, going, "No," right?
Right.
I don't know who that black actor was. It should have been Serena Williams, or LeBron James,
or someone who's a character in the movie.
Oh, well, that's that too.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you're talking about the Kareem Abdul-Jabbar kind of role.
Yes,
right. I would love that.
But it was great.
They needed.
You know who would be the best villain? If they should have spent the money on Tom Hanks.
Oh yes,
great.
Oh my God, perfect. Oh, he would have tore up the. That I agree. Anyway,
well,
I mean, there was no queen with her legs akimbo.
On the way to old, I enjoyed the movie. 40 years old. I remember the originals, but I enjoyed it for what it was. I thought, Paul, actually, the change they were doing was sort of pairing Liam Neeson as the movie. Like this could have just been a plot of a regular movie that Liam would star in, but the him being the actual kind of all the way up to the end seemed to be the gag they were
and
plot.
I agree with
I thought it worked for what it did. It it's reintroducing a whole new generation that hopefully they do go back and watch the Leslie versions. But I laughed all the way through.
Yeah, I mean, you're not wrong. I mean, as much as I thought the movie was mid, I laughed out loud. I don't.
Yeah.
A lot of times you go into a comedy, you're not laughing out loud. It was genuinely funny.
I had a good
But
audience too.
again,
They
you
were
have
laughing.
3 better movies than this one.
And
I think also that the movie was the problem was the writer and the director of the movie were bound to the rules of the Naked Gun as opposed to making their own movie. I love Pop Star, same director. That one made me laugh out loud, and a lot of the reason I think is because Akiva Schaffer had freedom to tell the jokes that he wanted to tell. While when you're doing Naked Gun, you have to tell your jokes within the world of Naked Gun.
Hey, lastly, I also have heard that executives don't mind if these movies just underperform because there's so much interest in the back catalog that they will resell a repackaged Jurassic World or a Naked Gun. Here's all 3 movies on Fandango. Like, I'm told that if they perform just okay, it doesn't matter. It's about back catalog.
Yeah, I think comedies lend themselves to that, to replay value long after the movie.
I would have loved to have rewritten a bunch of the scenes exactly in the same order that they were in. I could have made some of those scenes funnier.
There's a Buffy joke that everyone should love. I won't spoil it, but there's a whole Buffy joke in there that was absolutely perfect.
That was great. And there's a TiVo joke. I feel like I'm the only person that got that joke. That was so great because I had an old TiVo that I sold on eBay that had all the Star Wars movies on it. All the Star Wars movies in HD. And they weren't on Blu-ray yet. So I sold that TiVo for a lot, and I'm sure.
Don't plug it into the internet; you'll erase everything.
Yeah, exactly. So,
and then the Bill Cosby joke.
Yes.
Let's go to comments here, and then I have a lot of news topics that are gonna shock you.
Embry Jeremiah for 5. How would you compare the new Naked Gun movie to the old Naked Gun movies, and who's better? Well, they just gave you an answer to that one. They think the originals are better.
We love the new one,
Yeah.
Hey, not me.
Andrew Cram for 10. Happy birthday, Rob. I had no idea it was your birthday again. Every day.
Always a good day when it's Rob's birthday.
Paul Pierce Rocks for 199. Rob, Weapons Week.
Alan and I are seeing
excited.
I can't wait. We're seeing it in IMAX in Washington, D.C. Alan and I are flying there. We're seeing it Thursday night.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
What is Weapons
We're
Week?
going to
Weapons.
we're doing
movie.
It's kind of an ice related celebration of
what are you? No, we'll tell you later.
James for 199. Eating Nuts is the gayest film threat panel ever. Is this the gayest? I think it is actually. Press him to start for 2. Superhero movies going the way of cowboy movies. Yeah,
I think so.
but then cowboy movies come back eventually. Jeff Romadix, member for 19 months. Will Zelda save cinemas?
No, but it could do very well.
Yeah.
Could do very well.
As long as Dylan Mulvaney is playing Zelda, I'm fine.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah.
Dripping
That would be
Mark's
the
kid
best.
for
No,
5.
they actually got a real woman to play Zelda.
Oh, then I'm not watching.
F4
I'm not
2005 might have actually outperformed this one when adjusted for inflation. It made $333 million. F4 2025 will need to make over $600 million. Saku Kocho, member for 18 months, or 3 months, Jesus Christ. In all honesty, which movie you think is the real summer box office winners? Mainly, I say it's F1, though Jurassic World still around because of international numbers.
Is Lilo and Stitch?
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're right.
Yeah.
Lilo and Stitch.
Mo Sislak for $4.99. To Robert's point, audiences have altered their viewing habits and aren't going to the theater like before.
That is also true, but
Unless it's all those niche things that we mentioned,
yeah,
like Lilo.
like
Big
Skibbity
Worm.
Toilet
Yeah.
coming out soon.
For 10. What's up, Big Worm? I dig what you're saying, R&B, but just because there is ongoing revenue doesn't mean it wasn't a bad investment. It's ROI that matters. If it takes 10 years to be profitable, it was a bad investment.
What, Fantastic Four?
I mean, in
mean,
general.
look, if you think about the first 23 movies of the Infinity Saga, they averaged out to $1 billion a film. That was unprecedented success that's never been seen in Hollywood ever. So to expect a franchise to continue to do that, no business has ever in Hollywood has ever achieved that. And I think one of the problems was Disney Plus came around and you had a whole system that was taxed beyond its ability to create good product. There's only so many great ideas to go around. And when Disney Plus, I think, destroyed the Marvel universe on many different levels. And everybody at Disney Plus expected Star Wars and Marvel to carry their new network, which was a huge mistake. It was a huge mistake, and it ruined Star Wars and it ruined the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Yeah, it's branding. They thought they could just slap a label Star Wars or Marvel on it.
Those things work because of the quality. And if you think about it, the Marvel Cinematic Universe, there's 3 trilogies within that Infinity Saga. There's Captain America, there's Iron Man, and there's Thor. And we got to know those 3 characters and love them. So when you put those guys together in movies, that's why the Avengers films, when you saw, I remember sitting in Avengers movie. I love those guys already, but then watching with Black Widow and Hulk, I was watching a movie as an old middle-aged man going, I never thought I would see this in my life. And by the time you got to Infinity War and Endgame, I maintain those 2 movies are 2 of the most satisfying fantasy films ever made. They're kind of like the Godfather 1 and 2 of movies, in that you love you can't even believe what you're watching. And they should have started over. They should have, instead of just, they should have started over with a character and done this and started again, build small and make us love. There hasn't been any trilogy of character in since the end of Endgame. And they haven't built up. They haven't done what they did that made them successful, which was build those characters up and make us love them. I mean, they haven't done that with anyone. And I don't know how are they supposed to duplicate success when they're not following their own template?
And they're rushing it with Downey as Doom. They're gonna rush.
It's a gimmick.
Yeah,
it's just a gimmick.
Yeah,
and it'll do well, I assume.
Let's just say you can't take Doomsday and Secret Wars seriously.
Yeah,
because nothing was leading to it. You know that they're doing a Hail Mary. They just got to end the thing and then move on to X-Men.
Well, they're going to do what they already did with Wolverine and Deadpool, where it's going to be a bunch of member berries that we already got last year. So,
yeah.
All right, let's
go. We want to see John Walker back in action.
James, for $8 Australian dollar reduced, Shawshank Redemption was a masterpiece, yet bombed massively at the box office. Great movies don't guarantee financial success.
Right, but there was the DVD market, and it definitely had replay value on television and on cable channels.
Gamer Plush for $5. What makes me mad about expensive budgets is we never see it on screen. Yeah, very rarely. Norwegian Kryptonian for 119 Norwegian krona. If you divide the average ticket prices now versus 2013, you will find that 7 to 8 million more people saw Man of Steel than Superman did. No, fewer people are going to the thing.
That's a
undeniable.
fact.
Yeah,
fewer people are seeing movies. That's a fact. The market has shrunk. But we lost 1,000 theaters because of COVID.
We've also seen examples. People will go out. It just has to really be a standout. They really have to feel confident. Yeah,
it's an event. Yeah. It's something you look forward to doing. Otherwise, you're watching it on streaming.
Yeah, because they know 45 days after, I could just watch it on digital.
Well, especially at $20 a ticket.
Yeah. Big Worm for $5. I liked F4, but it wasn't awesome. The look was amazing. My family liked it, but I can see waiting for streaming. $25 a seat or $15 a month on Disney Plus.
I love the design of Fantastic Four. I the artwork,
great.
The typeface.
Solid Monkey. Can't remember. Yeah, no, Fantastic Four was great.
Yeah, that's great. Did you read that one? Wait.
Yeah, shout out. He became a member. The Solid Monkey.
Thanks.
And then
that one
part for $199. Yeah, he just threw $1.99 at us, and I appreciate. Shout out to the $199. Again, why pay $100 to see a movie? 30 days it will stream. Yeah, that seems to be.
Yep.
Big Worm for $5. I'm with you, R&B. I don't see it as not a flop at $1 billion. They need to reduce their budgets or make great work so people show up. It's cost versus return.
Also, audiences want new things.
Yeah.
And the superhero genre is sort of locked into a paradigm. Superheroes fight supervillains. And when you've seen it 37 times, as you have in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, where do you go? How do you make that paradigm interesting to an audience that's seen it not just in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, but in DC as well? You've got
Maybe that's why Gunn felt comfortable with Clayface going forward as just a scary movie.
Yeah, and making it as a body horror. I mean, it's something we haven't seen.
Well, it's also
Robert
remember that
Kearney-
Fantastic Four did the new thing of getting their main character pregnant and talking about it for 20 minutes.
Well, it's also why Sinners did so well, right? I mean, it was something different. It was something new.
Yeah, new take on the genre.
It should not have done nearly as well as it did. I mean, and I love that movie, but it's crazy how well that movie did.
I love
Marvel does adult
Companion as a
things.
small movie.
Oh
I
yeah,
really enjoyed Companion.
terrific, and the audience loved it that I saw it with too.
Robert Kearney for $4.99. There are movies like The Usual Suspects, low budgets, great actors and writing, won't go back to theaters until they put phones in locked back. Well, let's go to
At this
Alamo Draft
stage,
House.
Other
That's not
theaters
happening.
pretty good with. Theaters were good with that, but something I said this morning on the Midnight Set stream. One of the problems we have is that we're no longer able to differentiate what we're watching on TV, which is now a big screen effort. It's no longer a tiny 4x3 crappy little screen, and the movies. It was way better and way easier to differentiate both the actors that performed on TV and kind of stayed in the TV realm, and movie stars that generally stayed in the movie star realm until they were worn out and became Buddy Ebsen and became some detective on the TV screen. And the TV shows all looked like they were shot in LA, and they had this kind of pace, and you got friendly with the characters that you had, but it always looked like TV. And that's why you went to the movies, because it looked like movies. Now TV looks like movies, and movies are looking like
digital.
And TV does movies better than movies.
Yes, you're absolutely right.
But
you
also,
take a
we
look at
keep
Taylor
talking about
Sheridan stuff; it looks better than a lot of the movies. So
I'm sorry.
It's
we
why
keep talking
are
about
we going
budget.
to the movies?
We keep talking about budget, and we keep talking about like all these different things. We're completely looking past the fact that for the past 5 or 6 years, we've had, I guess, a strategy or a plan. We've had basically a strike against us for the past 5 or 6 years, where these these studios have been taking money from outside sources to push agendas into our fucking faces, right? Like these studios, I'm not giving them a break. I'm not saying, oh, it's just the budget or it's just this and that. No, they purposely did this to themselves, right? They purposely were trying to shove things down our throat. And now they are reaping what they deserve. I'm right now, I'm in a back and forth right now with John Roca, because they paid shills like him, right? To talk shit about, about how great their films are, giving them all the access they want, right? Giving them all their little goodie bags and shit. They have this whole plan, right? And thinking that it will work because people watch their channels, right? So these studios aren't getting a break from me. If they're taking hits, they deserve all the hits they're taking.
No, we're too stupid to understand it. That's why they're losing, because the dumb
right, because we're too
audiences.
dumb to understand how smart the Fantastic Four is.
Well, now that we're talking Hollywood and problems with Hollywood, our friend Justine Bateman was on a recent podcast. There's a clip here, and she talks about why things are failing in entertainment. Why are all movies just remakes and sequels? And here's what she says on this, and then we'll talk about it on the other side. This is from the FP Conversations with Coleman. Here we go.
Free press.
The studios started looking at the films and TV series just as content and started making, there's exceptions to this, of course. There have been some good work over the last 10 years, but the focus became volume content. And I can tell you, I watched 4 films in the last 3 days. One of them was good. The other 3, big stars, lots of money, I know. Shit. Absolutely terrible.
She should start a YouTube channel. Anyways,
She really should.
continue.
Phoned in performances by actors who are good actors. Bad script. Bad direction, phoned in direction.
The Gorge.
Production values, and like if you're really called to this and you're gifted at this, and this is where you're supposed to be and what you're supposed to do, it would rip you up inside to turn in something like that, where it just seemed like it's not like you swung for the fences and you didn't really make it, but you tried. No, this was like, it looked like you were paid to not care. So, and sorry, the component that relates to what we were talking about, that oppression, the shutdown, they started through all of that behaving a lot more like a corporation than anything to do with making films and series, in that they were very much reacting to the loudest 1,000 people on social media who are committed to being angry about anything. Put a plate of pudding in front of them, they're going to get mad about it. Anything. And I think that is a lot of like intimacy through injury, is what I call it. Like, you want connection with people, and it's a lot faster to get that connection through conflict than it is through, developing a friendship or something like that.
So what do we think about this? She hits on a lot of points. What are your guys' thoughts? Volume over quality ruined Hollywood. The streamers, she's really calling out the streamers.
Yeah. Well, the thing about streaming movies is they don't have to earn any money.
Right.
I mean, when there's no financial return on a film, the traditional, I mean, you're not putting it into the marketplace. Whereas, you put a movie out in the theaters, if people don't go, it's a bad movie, or they don't find it, then the movie loses money. With streamers, their economic model isn't there. They'll spend $250 million with the Russo brothers making The Gray Man. And I don't understand those economics. All the money that Netflix ever gets is from their subscriber base. And now maybe an ad tier. But how do you justify for 2 hours of time? Why would you spend $250 million ever on a movie for a streaming service? Or Red Notice or whatever it is they're making with these big stars.
Yeah. The Gore.
Why would you at least the Gorge though is more manageable? You had Scott Derrickson did that. Yeah. But I mean,
you have two actors in it.
Yeah, Gal Gadot, the two actors and basically two sets until you get down underneath. I mean, it's really, if you think about time, you have 2 hours, let's call it 90 minutes or 2 hours of time. How much is entertainment worth? And how much are you willing to spend? If you watch Shawshank Redemption, that's 2 hours of time and you're going to be fulfilled for the rest of your life.
Right.
You watch The Gray Man and it's immediately you won't even remember it the next day. And yet The Gray Man costs $250 million. Why are the streamers spending this kind of money? It's unjustifiable.
They're competing
because
with
they have
it for stars.
I mean, they don't have to be judged by the marketplace, and people will just watch it because it's there.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm looking at if you average things out, Netflix
300 million subscribers. What are they paying each? $10 each?
Yeah, here I've got the number here. So if you just do a basic calculation, Netflix pulls in $3.7 billion a month. You take half of that for technology and things like that.
Right.
That's what 1.7 billion. And so you can spend that frivolously on TV shows and making TV shows and making movies. And again, to your point, there's no accountability for it. You make it, it fails or it flops or it does well. It makes
and it adds nothing to the cultural side. Like Robert's right. I remember liking The Gray Man just because I like what's face, but I remember
it was
nothing
beautifully
of it.
made.
Gosling.
Yeah.
I couldn't tell you one scene in it beyond flamboyant Chris Evans, which is all I really remember from it because that's how they marketed it.
And the point is there's no stakes, because if you take that $1.5 billion, make a flop, okay, we'll make another one. No one's hurt. Unlike the old studio system, where if your movie flopped, that directly impacts that studio.
Right.
And so that the incentive to make something great is no longer there.
And the people that they hire to make the movies, like it's amazing. David Fincher had a problem getting his movies made at the studios. You'd think David Fincher wouldn't have a problem, but he had a problem. So he goes to Netflix that's happy to have him. So he goes and makes Mank. He makes The Killer. and now he's doing the Cliff Booth movie that Quentin Tarantino wrote. I mean, that's crazy. The Once Upon a Time in Hollywood sequel that David Fincher's directing for Netflix. I mean, that's wild. But at least with Fincher, you're getting an auteurist vision.
Isn't he doing Squid Games too? A version of Squid Games?
He has, yeah. He's supposed to do that too.
I think part of the problem is, someone had it up here briefly, the amount of money that was spent on the Scorsese project,
400 or whatever it was.
Too much. And I think some people who should know better lose sight of the challenges that they had early on making films, and then they get this wad of cash from the streamers, and then they just abuse it. To them, suddenly they get all the money in the world because that's what they're promised, and you can do whatever you want. And I don't think that's the way you make films. In fact, in many ways, the person I respect most who's made the deal with one of the streamers is Adam Sandler, because he seems to be making stuff at a budget, cranking every single thing he's done. I've been interested in, even that crazy detective movie that he did with Aniston, that I went, oh, this is going to be stupid. Not movie, but those his
space one movies. With Paul Dano, Spaceman.
That was
oh yeah,
what a risk that was. So the man has put out the greatest variety of stuff for a streamer, and I think he's killing it for Netflix. He's responsible. You can see his response that he's responsible. I hated what Scorsese did with the that Apple thing. I went, wow, this is a wank.
Oh, Killers of the Flower.
Yeah. This is what a big wank this is. This is not what a good creative person does. They give themselves limits.
Well, even The Irishman, using technology to de-age all these actors. Why didn't he get actors that were age appropriate and save all that de-aging effects money?
He wanted to make a movie with Robert and Joe Pesci.
Yeah. Or the fact that it's 3.5 hours long. I mean,
yeah, that's the other thing.
That's indulgent, if anything.
Yeah.
That was a season of television. I got another fun thing to show you guys.
Oh, just real quick before I forget, Adam Sandler also didn't alienate all his fans, and he stood up for Rob Schneider. So he played it very smart to piss everyone off. So that's why he still has repeat business.
Exactly. Liam Neeson recently, he's of course on the interview circuit for The Naked Gun, and had some comments on playing Qui-Gon Jinn. Let's hear what he's breaking down his iconic roles. Let's look at this.
Star Wars Episode 1, The Phantom Menace. Moisture farms for the most part. Some indigenous tribes and scavengers. The few spaceports like this one are havens for those that don't wish to be found.
Like us.
And the first time Ewan McGregor and I had to draw our lightsabers, I remember we both made the sound at the exact same time. George, boys, you don't have to do that. We can add that stuff. Oh. George doesn't like directing. Period. He told me that. He'd finish a scene, he'd say, Natalie, a little bit faster. Liam, a little bit faster there. Editing, sweet. Afterwards, that's when he starts enjoying the process, but actually directing actors and stuff. He told me he doesn't like it at all.
So was it hard to train for those scenes?
No, it wasn't hard, but we had aluminum swords, so we trained with those. On the day, we had shortened aluminum with green tape on them. Mine was green taped. And then the special effects guys would add the rest of the lightsaber. I had done a few of those types of fights, sword, cowboys in armor, I call them. But it was good. Yeah, it was good working with Ewan. I thought my death was a bit nappy-pappy. I'm supposed to be a master Jedi, My character fell for that. Oh, I'm going for your face. No, I'm not. I'm going for your stomach. Oh, you got me. Oh, hardly a master Jedi. But still, it was great. And all the cameras, I remember, all had wires coming out of them going to guys on laptop computers and stuff. It was very strange. I remember I had a scene with the kid that was going to be Darth Vader.
Oh, Jake
lovely
Lloyd.
wee actor. And this flying Talk like that, which I'd never seen before. So I'm getting my makeup on that morning, and Morag was my makeup lady. I remember. I said, Morag, this is quite a big scene. I have quite a bit of dialogue with this thing. And she said, Liam, you could be a monkey smoking a pipe. No one's going to be looking at you. They're all going to be looking at this thing, you know, which was kind of true, you know.
You actually returned to the role for the Disney series. What drew you back to the character?
Oh, it was just one little scene. Obi-Wan's coming in on a camel and sort of said, Master, I've been looking for you everywhere, or something like that. And I say, I've always been here. I kind of like that. I had just one line. It was nice to recreate that. Be with Hugh after, I don't know, 18, 20 years, you know. It was sweet. Yeah. There's so many branches of Star Wars now. I think it's over.
Oh, he ends it by saying, I think it's over. What do you guys think?
Justice for Qui-Gon. Didn't they know they could just force heal him? Reva
That's
got
true.
stabbed
I know.
twice.
Like,
what's Sabine?
Who dies of a lightsaber? Really? I mean,
Well,
No
there
one's-
we
no
have
one's
an
ever really
example of
gone.
a Tech on tour.
I just love his brutal honesty.
Yeah,
his assessment. He
it's a fun
seems
story.
very nonplussed, if I can use that word.
Well, he's also a raconteur. That's one of the things, independent of us complaining about the morons who are coming on camera and then complaining and dissing other people. Not only are they not spending enough time talking about how much they're enjoying the making of the film or working with other people, none of them have interesting stories. Back in the day, that's all they were. You'd go on Carson or whatever, and they had all set up really interesting stories. We're complaining about, maybe the PR department of Disney has got to corral these stars and get them to not say stupid things. No, we need to get smart actors who can talk.
He also
It's
explained me
breezy.
the problem with the prequels, which is that George Lucas was not interested in eliciting or working with an actor to bring out a performance that really came to life
Faster,
on
more
camera.
intense.
And then what he did was he even was intercutting performances using the new digital technology of the day, where he could literally take the head off one performance and put it on another performance. And so the human element, that ineffable spark that you see in movies when actors are cooking, the prequels don't have that.
Mm-hmm.
And the original Star Wars does. I don't know. Do you think a princess and a guy like, no? You know, there was even people talk about the acting in Star Wars. It's great. You love those characters, and because they're bringing their humanity to what's going on, and that's what brings the spark. It doesn't matter if you're watching a superhero movie, a Western, a crime thriller. We're still watching people. And if the people aren't working, if they're not giving you, I mean, George Lucas made Sam Jackson kind of wooden.
Yes.
That's hard to do.
Yeah. And let's also remember that he didn't direct Empire and Return of the Jedi.
No.
And he didn't like it.
Yeah.
Apparently.
I just remember
He was happy to pass it off.
Harrison
So,
Ford
no.
telling George, you can write this shit, but you can't say it. Script to screen is a little different.
Hey, future of Marvel. There's a Spider-Man Brand New Day suit reveal, a little teaser. We are 51 weeks from this movie opening in less than a year. It's July 31st. There's a short teaser. We'll take a look, see if you guys want to comment. But here it is with starring, featuring Tom Holland.
Oh my God.
We ready?
Okay, that's it. So what?
So
do you
how is
think?
that different from the other times he put on a Spider-Man?
I feel like they're directing the BTS in a way. It feels very.
It looks like the classic Ditko. There's a bunch of pictures of him filming that are way better shots of it. That's not the best reveal. It makes him kind of look out of shape, but he's not.
Yeah.
Right, but I'm like I couldn't tell you why it was different than the other ones.
Than the
Go ahead.
nanosuit ones? Oh, easily. That was one of the best parts of No Way Home, the last Spider-Man that we saw, where it was clear that he got rid of the nanosuit
Far
and went
From
back
Home.
to the
Yeah.
original. I
So
actually, that was the part of the movie that I cheered. I audibly cheered in the theater.
I mean, it looks fine. I'm not like blown away by it. It looks fine.
But is it made by American Eagle?
That's the question.
Well, there's
That
no
would be
cleavage
great.
for one thing.
Yeah. So no comments on it. The enthusiasm I'm feeling from everyone is kind of maybe reflective. Do we want another Spider-Man movie with Tom Holland? Even I gotta say, I'm not all excited at all. I'm not.
Well, at this point, I'm just completely meh on anything MCU. So I mean,
Yeah.
And again, I have to keep saying this over and over. I did like the Fantastic Four.
You share
I
my
liked
screen,
it.
Chris?
It was a fine movie, but I'm not excited about the MCU.
Let's
I don't know if I'm
Badger,
super excited, but I do like all of I do like the new suit. I'm not overly excited about a new Spider-Man movie. I've liked them fine. I'm actually interested in seeing his story moving forward, considering he has everybody forgetting that Peter Parker is Spider-Man, or at least anybody who knows that he's
Yeah.
Spider-Man. So I'm interested in that. We're finally going to get a payoff to the Scorpion thing that they set up in the very first movie, years and years later,
My
with those
only
two
complaint
characters.
is these super oversized web shooters that are not covered by the suit. But other than that, that's basically the Steve Ditko classic
Mhm.
Spider-Man suit that we've yet
Which
to
I
actually
love.
see. Yeah.
Love it.
As Paul pointed out, he's by himself. People know who Spider-Man is, but they do not know that it's Peter Parker. He's not supposed to have any help. No
Mhm.
Tony Stark to come save him, which was always the complaint.
Yep.
Yeah.
But yet, we're gonna have the Punisher and the Hulk in the film. So
Right. No, it's a Superman and Friends situation, but the idea being that they're at odds until obviously they team up for whatever the big bad is. So yeah, there you go.
I do like all of the behind the scenes stuff that people have been putting out where they're on set and Tom Holland comes and says hi to them. I think that looks really good for that particular actor. You know, he's coming and sharing his time with some of the fans in full Spider-Man costume.
Don't talk about politics.
That is pretty cool. Yeah, he's just interacting with fans, saying hi to people. And he's just taking time out of his day. He doesn't have to do that, but he's doing that. So it's actually looking good on Tom
Good
Holland for
social
doing
media
that. He's being
etiquette.
really polite to them as well.
Yeah.
So.
But also, I've never had a problem with Tom Holland. I never had an issue with him being Peter Parker or Spider-Man. So I know people don't like him. You know, they prefer Toby and Andrew, but I've never had a problem with Tom Holland.
Yeah. Let's move on. Another news story. The Disney Plus curse. I think everyone would agree, and people are finally discussing how Disney Plus has devalued Marvel, Star Wars, and all their brands. This is a story from The Wrap. I believe there are notes for this, Badger. If you would, let's go.
In early July, at what was supposed to be a celebration for the Fantastic Four first steps, Marvel Studios president Kevin Feige instead addressed a tough truth. Disney Plus had hurt Marvel's brand. Following Avengers Endgame in 2019, Marvel entered an experimental phase with Disney Plus, pushing for aggressive content expansion. This led to audience fatigue, confusion, and declining box office performance. Feige pointed to the Marvels as a prime example, saying viewers recognized Brie Larson from the $1 billion Captain Marvel, but skipped the film because the other leads were Disney Plus characters. People are like, okay, I recognize her, but who are those other two? I guess they were in some TV show. I'll skip it. He admitted bluntly, the expansion is what devalued the Marvel brand. There was a mandate that we were put in the middle of. This overproduction problem wasn't limited to Marvel. Star Wars and Pixar were also hit hard. Disney's streaming first strategy, while initially boosting subscriber numbers, reaching 94.9 million in 14 months, diluted the prestige of major brands. Star Wars viewership steadily declined from The Mandalorian's billion-minute weeks to Skeleton Crew not even making Nielsen's top 10. Pixar's once unshakable reputation faltered after sending Soul, Luca, and Turning Red straight to streaming, conditioning audiences to skip theatrical releases. As one producer put it, given the quality of the Marvel Disney Plus output has been incredibly mediocre, it's dragged the entire brand down. People don't care now. Even box office hits like Deadpool and Wolverine and Fantastic Four succeeded largely because they're disconnected from the Disney Plus continuity. Meanwhile, Pixar's Elio became its worst ever performer, and Marvel films like Captain America Brave New World and Thunderbolts underwhelmed financially. Disney is now pulling back, reducing Disney Plus originals, prioritizing theatrical releases, and trying to restore less is more exclusivity. The hope is to turn the service back into a curated library rather than a constant fire hose. As Star Wars author Dan Zier said, to me, Star Wars is a dining experience. It's not fast food. When you make it like fast food, it suffers.
It's like Spotify for Disney. I remember when a Disney movie was an event. Do you remember It's Going Away into the Vault? Bambi.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
Released now. Like the scarcity of Disney made it special. And the ancillary market, whether it's Blu-ray or whatever, Disney could just end their streaming service. You know how lucrative their content would be on other platforms? So is Disney, is this like a case of self-immolation? Have they killed the Disney brand with Disney Plus? And all these other brands?
No, they killed the brand with bad movies and bad TV shows.
Yeah,
well, that's true too.
Look, he points out that because Soul and Luca went direct to Disney Plus, having forgotten that there was a worldwide pandemic that prevented them from even showing up in a movie theater. And also, it's clear that Disney has yet to learn its lessons from its failures and continues to walk down a path thinking that they're doing the right thing when really they're just repeating the problem over and over again.
Well, also, if you look at it's really interesting that they don't treat their Tiffany brands going after Tony Gilroy to make Andor. He's an Academy Award nominated screenwriter and director. And yet they give Leslie Headland a Star Wars show. I mean, okay, she worked on Russian Doll and everything else she did, but why? And I'm not complaining about the kind of person she is. I'm just like, in what in her background screamed Star Wars to Disney? And I mean, I can tell you a few things, but I don't understand why they gave someone like that. When Tony Gilroy says, "Look, I've been looking into rebellions and uprisings and politics my whole life. It's been an interest of me my whole life, and I would like to spend the years I've spent studying this and use Star Wars as the vehicle." When you watch the Obi-Wan Kenobi show, you have to ask yourself, why is a young Princess Leia in this show? Why?
Yeah.
What does that have to do? What does it have to do with Ben Kenobi?
What's your point, Rob? How did they not catch this at the script phase? How did they not read the script and say this isn't Star Wars?
Well, that's another problem. They were entirely politically and ideologically captured by people that don't respect the source material, like the source material, or the fans, and they were completely fine with their propaganda and trying to replace us all. Sorry, Robert, but that's why.
But at the same time, you could easily read it and know that that's not Star Wars.
No, but they're not.
They didn't care,
like
Alan.
The Boba Fett TV show. You know, I find the Book of Boba Fett is perplexing to me, because the idea of a power vacuum created by a criminal leader, Jabba the Hutt, being deposed. We have, whether you're looking at Scarface, whether you're looking at Goodfellas, whether you're looking at The Godfather, whether you're looking at Kurosawa or Shakespeare, there's so many great places to look, because Star Wars, after all, he looked to Kurosawa. Why wouldn't you look at Boba Fett and go, let's do the Godfather of Star Wars, and Boba Fett is a man who is going to build a criminal empire up from the remnants of the Hutts? That's a no-brainer to find somebody that wants to do something like that, and yet we got him writing on trying to explain how to. I mean, it was such a weird.
We should have saw Boba Fett with a mountain of spice on his desk and just do a head dive right into it.
I mean, but something along those lines, instead of chasing around droids in a kitchen going, "I am Boba Fett."
It was a Disney version of Underworld.
Yeah, it was, but it was that was a mistake.
Yeah, but Andor wasn't a Disney version.
Destroyed Boba Fett.
No. that was the point, Alan, is that clearly they can do it, but they did it in such the opposite direction.
Mm-hmm.
Again, you should be able to show it so like adults know what. There's my friend's reading all the legends of dark times before Disney, you know, the stuff that Disney says they don't have. And it's something with Vader having to deal with seeing the Empire sell little girls and women into slavery. And, you know, Anakin was a slave, but it's not so overt. So a kid sees that, just gets weird feelings, knows something bad is going to happen. But
Right.
adults see that, and they know very well what's going to happen. But in the Andor, they just say what's going to happen. So there's no
Right.
ambiguity.
But to my point, they are incapable of understanding why something flopped, and then incapable of not doing that again.
Yeah.
They just keep going on that hamster wheel, spinning round and round, and doing the same mistakes over and over again, and blaming us fans as the reason why their stuff doesn't succeed.
Hey, I want to move on to another topic, a pretty big one. Before we do, I want to also mention to people, Halloween is coming up. I know it's August, but guess what? Your Spirit Halloween store is open, so why not Film Threads? We have our Spirit of Halloween collection.
Yeah.
Halloween-inspired film threat shirts based on classic monster movies, horror films. So check out the Spirit of Halloween collection. I quite like this one, Night of the Film Threats. Look at that. It's modeled by Alan's intern. What's her name? I forget her name.
Jody.
Hey,
Jody is modeling the shirts. So there you go. So go to shop.filmthreat.com and check that all out.
Wait, Alan has an intern?
Alan has an intern
named Jody.
Here we talked like months ago about Hanna-Barbera talking about censorship. This is a really fascinating article. It's about censoring children's television. It's written by, and Rob, you might want to follow up on this. It's reprinted from an article from Penthouse magazine, the June 1991 issue. Penthouse was a magazine, not about apartments.
Written by Michael Straczynski, Babylon
Yes.
5 creator himself.
Great issue.
That's right. And we have notes for this story. This relates to a story we did months ago, but it's worth noting. Badger, you have notes on this. And I'll provide the link.
And not to be confused with a Penthouse letter, right?
That's right. Not a letter. This is a guest editorial. It is worth hearing now, 30 plus years later. So listen to this.
Dear Penthouse, I never thought it would happen to me. No, sorry.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Wait, there's articles in Penthouse?
Right.
Anyway,
we found the one.
We were reading it for the articles. TV writers don't just battle plot twists and deadlines. They also deal with a behind-the-scenes army of consultants, psychologists, and censors who think they know what's best for kids. These so-called watchmen have shifted from flagging cartoon violence to policing the ideas behind shows. For example, on The Real Ghostbusters, which I used to watch, a consultant said Egon couldn't wear angular glasses because kids are scared of sharp objects. When writers offered to make them round, that was shot down too, because apparently glasses make characters seem cold. Another consultant demanded Janine, a bold and funny fan favorite, be rewritten to act more like a nurturing mother. And they even suggested that one black character, Winston, should be reduced to the low-profile role of driving the team's car, while the white characters got the leadership and driving Miss Ghostbusters. Yes. And the notes only get weirder. On She-Ra, consultants didn't want the lead female character to be physically strong or assertive. Stopping a tank was too much, but ballet-style moves were fine. In Captain Power, which was literally an anti-war show, a watchdog group protested the entire post-apocalyptic setting, saying kids shouldn't even see that kind of world. One group claimed signs of Satanism in teens included being sad, listening to rock music, or gasp, being curious. These experts were getting paid over $150 an hour for this kind of input, and sometimes they'd conveniently stop protesting once they were hired as consultants. Meanwhile, network censors were hard at work too, asking writers to avoid words like netherworld, too close to hell, or show characters praying could be interpreted as demonic worship. It's a surreal system where the loudest, most fearful voices can end up shaping what kids watch unless someone speaks up.
What do we think about this? I mean, I'll just say this is it's not a surprise. Not a surprise. Paul, I'm really curious your thoughts as well as you.
Well, this just comes under the category of network notes. This is possibly the funniest thing I experienced on a constant basis while I was doing what I was doing. I remember that we had one executive suggest that we can't use the word portage because no one in the United States knew what it meant.
Right.
Hey, can you tell me what portage means?
What?
Can you tell me what portage means?
Sure, you know what portage. Don't give me a hard. So
no, I'm being serious.
And it was endless, and the weirdest words that they would pick out. And the point was, you go back and you say, yeah, we made all the changes you said, and then we don't make any of the changes, and they don't notice. But we called it flexing. So and the censors flexed, the consultants flexed, and also executives, creative executives who you had absolutely no respect for, flexed. They had to open their mouths. They couldn't come to a rehearsal taping without them giving you the dumbest notes possible, and you had to find a way to react to it in a positive way.
Wait, portage?
Portage.
Yes, sorry. That's what I'm saying. The act or instance of caring. Come on, what are we doing here? Yeah, we don't know that word. They were right on that one. Sorry. The school systems failed us.
But yeah, it was. I mean, it was for those of us in the creative side of things with a sense of humor and irony. It was just head shaking. I don't know where these people came from, and I don't know where they got the power from.
Listen to the sentence. We had to portage for half a mile around the waterfall.
There you go.
Do you picture it in your mind now?
Well, you have to be carrying a canoe while you're portaging.
Yeah, exactly.
You have to be carrying a weight. Yeah.
With some weight. Yes, portage. That.
I mean, are we now with executive? Look, I've dealt with people like this. I've produced some television shows for FX and other. I did shows. I worked for a lot of different places, small places, nothing big, but it was the dumbest people trying to really justify their jobs. Yeah. That's what it was. It felt like I'm justifying why I'm here getting paid too much money. If I don't say anything, what do they need me for? So I don't know if anyone else has had experience.
You know, I used to do marketing and advertising, design, things like that. And the piece of advice someone gave me was always have some kind of a mistake in your design so that when you show it to your supervisor, they'll find it and tell you need to fix it, and they'll feel good about it. And that's what this feels like.
Well, also everyone, I think, Chris, as you probably know, I mean, I've only worked, I directed and edited a Skinamax TV show for HBO and Cinemax called Femme Fatales. I directed 5 episodes of 2 seasons of that show, and we would get network notes back, and like they would tell me, because the sex scenes were important, they would say, like, you really need to add 23 seconds more of breast caressing. And I would get these notes back.
The notes?
And in the notes, because they would tell us that they would time the sex scenes, because it was a 30-minute show, and they knew for their late night audience that we were supposed to provide this much sexual activity. But what was really interesting was I was always trying to make it better, like more erotic. Like you can go watch real pornography. It was all fake. So the further you got away from it, so I would bring the camera closer in, and sometimes they wouldn't like that. You know, they're like, can't you just pull the camera out? And I'm like, isn't it more erotic? I mean, if you get really in close and you just see a hand caressing
Rob was an auteur of cinema.
I was trying to. Hey, the website Fleshbot said I directed the most
No, Paul.
lesbian sex scene ever. But no, but it was wild getting these notes back.
I'm gonna go portage out my puke real quick. Sorry.
I know, but the same thing would be true. You get notes on things, and being an editor for a long time, you know, you'd get notes back from producers, and the problem was people weren't looking at the big picture. They would see one thing that they personally didn't like, and they didn't understand that like there's a larger picture that you're not seeing here, and you're focusing on something that's like not to your taste, but you're not thinking about the movie as a whole. And that was the thing that used to bother me the most, is that you would get these little things and it's like you're asking for something that is not, it's not about storytelling, and it's not about the work itself. It's about a thing, a peccadillo that's yours and yours alone.
Oh yeah.
And that was the real problem. Like, and I'm like, this isn't a problem for the show. It's a problem you have. Like, I would get notes sometimes on documentaries. There was some Superman stuff when I was doing our Superman Returns documentary. There was a guy that didn't like certain responses to Superman being called messianic because he was very religious. And I'm like, look, you can't get away from the fact that the film actually states, Superman says the world is looking for a savior. And I hear people crying out to me. He literally references that, and there's all kinds of religious imagery when it comes to Superman. You can't remove that from our documentary. I mean, I had my favorite was when I was working on Star Trek V, and I had Shatner's audio commentary about the movie. Shatner talked about Timothy Leary being a inspiration for Cybok. And I got a note back from Paramount Legal that says, oh, no. You can't equate Star Trek to drug use. And I'm like, wait a minute, there's episodes about drug use from the first season of from the original series on. The Venus drug, the first episode of Next Generation. Like, no, you can't say that. And they told us we had to cut out every reference to Timothy Leary in the audio commentary. And I'm like, you're telling the director you can't say what the director of the film was basing the villain on because he's a counterculture. I mean, he's a known counterculture guru, a big figure of the 1960s. Why? How is that going to hurt somebody? What are you saying? I mean, people could tell that was the reference, but we would have to cut it out.
My question is: have these people ever made a movie or TV show better
never.
with their advice?
No, never. None of them.
24
none of them have
seconds
done
more
anything.
press.
I'll say this. Now, I never worked in children's television.
Yeah.
But, you know, I did. The worst was arguing with the lawyer that was at the FX network from, you know, when I did a show called The X Show. I get into heated arguments about things I could get away with saying. But actually, the best experience was at G4 TV. The lawyer there was a guy named Keith, I remembered, and he was on my side. How much can you get away with? But Attack of the Show was not children's TV. And one of the things I asked him was, can I mispronounce swear words? So I would say this person is a real shatheed, you know, and just get away with swearing, but not pronouncing it correctly. He goes, oh yeah, you can do that. He was trying to help me. So I don't want to imply all the people are bad.
Yeah,
but I
but
think
Chris, it's probably different with
television,
it's probably different with like G4 because they were like so like off the radar, you know what I mean?
Right,
but when you're talking like network TV, I'm sure, man, there's just like people up the ass.
Well,
who are
true.
I
like,
used to watch Power Rangers, and they would say it's morphin time, and in some places they would get edited because it sounds like they're saying it's morphine time, but it's morphine time, so like dumb shit like that. We had
which
Satanic
probably would have
Panic.
been a better show.
We had Satanic Panic when I was growing up. There's always a group trying to cancel shit, and my dad at the time used to think that He-Man was demonic. He didn't understand the power of Grayskull, and he thought he was getting the powers from Satan. So I couldn't watch that when I was a kid. Now we all understand now because we're all a lot more literate to what's going on. But yeah, if you say it confident enough and with enough fear, you can get people to believe anything.
You know, and Robert, if you could have changed Timothy Leary to Mrs. Butterworth, you know, that actually might have been cool.
Yeah, it was. Well, I'll tell you. Here's another story. So, in our Star Trek Star Trek: The Next Generation documentaries, Ron Moore, who created Battlestar Galactica and For All Mankind, tells a story that in the original series there was a planet that was. I mean, in The Next Generation, they wanted to write a story where they roll up on a planet where there's a Holocaust happening, where one side is literally shoving the other side into ovens. They're committing a planetary genocide, and they're eliminating, and it was like a Holocaust allegory. And Roddenberry had said that, oh, you can't, the Enterprise can't interfere, even though it's a horrific experience. The Prime Directive says you can't stop this. And that was the horror of the episode, that the Enterprise couldn't put an end to this because it would be a violation of the Prime Directive. So I get back. I thought it was a really interesting story. I'd never heard that story before. The lawyers are like, oh, no. You can't use this story because it implies that Gene Roddenberry was an advocate of the Holocaust. And I was like, what? It's about the Prime Directive in Star Trek. I mean, Ron Moore just used that. I mean, that was the story, but he just used the Holocaust. He brought that up as an allegorical example of what this alien race was doing. And it was a really interesting story about the Prime Directive and how Roddenberry said that was the horror of the episode. The Enterprise was compelled by their laws and that they couldn't stop it.
Great
and
story.
That was the whole crux of the story. And they're like, you can't say that. And so I had to cut that story out. I fought, though, tooth and nail to keep that in because I'd never heard that story before. And it was a great illustration of the Prime Directive and how the Prime Directive can be horrific, but we have to maintain our ideals.
Yeah. They break that Prime Directive so much, it's probably better because they're just like, well, why the hell didn't they break it on that planet? But
yeah, but I mean, that was the story. But they came back and they said, you're implying that people are going to take from this story that they're going to get. That's the whole thing. They think they speak for the audience. That they know what the audience is how they're going to digest something.
Well, and what they used to do,
weird. I'm like, how do you know?
If you couldn't break the Prime Directive, you would get a character from that planet and you would instill change in them, and it would be implied that like because 100%. They met them, that change goes on to burn brighter. And
you're exactly right.
You're exactly right. Anymore.
That's 100% right.
Let's go to comments before we do a last story, but. Paul, what was that image you were sharing there?
It was the Alan Ing. You want me to bring it up?
Yeah, sure.
The Alan Ing Halloween mask. It's quite popular.
You can get it now. It's Spirit Halloween. Let's share this right now. Here we go. That's great. That's gonna be great.
You look great with facial hair.
Oh my God, the network knows.
I need to pull my coolie hat out.
Oh no.
Robert Kearney for $1.99. Verbal Riot 100%. You lit everyone up earlier.
Hell yeah.
Earlier when you did that rant against Marvel. Royston Bailey for 6. Justine Bateman's a super heroine, straight shooter.
Yeah.
She's very passionate.
She's awesome. We love her.
Chris plays those AI videos. Absolutely loves it. Stubble McShave for 100 Swedish krona. 10 years ago, I could have discussions with coworkers about the latest comic book movies. Now, no one cares. I want to see movies like Heat in the theaters, but now they do it as a watered-down TV show series. Yes.
Not wrong. Thank you, Stubble.
Graph Web for 2. In the name of all that is holy, hashtag cancel Disney Plus.
Aren't they working on a sequel to Heat?
Yeah.
Oh, I did hear that.
They wrote a novel. The novel's actually quite good. Heat 2. Michael Mann wrote it with
Pilgrim Media for 2.
Follow the novel to a T.
Does Jodie have good genes?
There you go.
Pilgrim Media for another 2. Does Mr. Canoe Head portage?
Absolutely. And he gunnel bobs. And, do
you know who David Goggins is? He's motivational. Yes. Who's going to carry the boats? I didn't realize he should have been saying, who's going to portage the boats?
Who's going to portage the boats?
Doesn't have the same ring to it.
Yes. Mr. Canoe Head's favorite phrase is taste gunnels, bad guys.
Hey, Variety did a story and ranked the Marvel movies and shows from worst to best. I gotta say, this is a terrible list.
Yeah.
I want to get your thoughts. This list is awful.
Well, is it from gayest to straightest?
It was put together by Kate Arthur Angelique Jackson, Haley Klug, Jordan Moreau, Adam Very from Variety. And we'll go through it. I'll put a link for you guys. I think this is a troll. This is so bad. It's awful. I'm going to share it. I shared it with you guys in private chat. So
Yeah, I saw this list.
Terrible list from
Immediately blocked
worst
it out.
to best. Well, I agree. This is one of the worst.
Yeah, that is the worst.
At 54, Secret Invasion.
I mean, is it worse than the Marvels?
Yes, it is.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, it's terrible.
It has to be.
It's very bad.
50. I don't know. I don't agree with this. 53,
I don't agree with that at all.
Thor: The Dark World. That's actually, in retrospect, kind of a good film.
Better than many of the past 10 years.
Yep.
Hey, shout these out, Badger, as I scroll down.
Sure. Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantum Mania.
That's fair. That's fair.
Number 52. Wow. So they're ranking like 54 of these?
There's got to be there's going to be worse than that.
Moon Knight.
It's bad, but not that bad.
It's pretty bad.
I mean, you can think of others that were worse than this.
Thor, Love and Thunder.
Well,
I
they
agree
already
with
got
that.
the order wrong. Already got the order wrong with Thor: Dark World should be higher on the list.
Yes, 100%.
Any movie before Infinity War should not be on the bottom half
agree.
of this list.
Yeah.
The Incredible Hulk. This is too low. I
they're
like this
crazy.
movie. Yeah.
Oh wow.
They're
That
crazy.
movie.
That was a great fucking movie.
It was
Ed
the first
Norton's
one.
Good. Ed
Right.
Norton's
Yeah. I'm
good.
sorry Edward Norton had like standards. It means he's difficult. Iron Man 2. This is just way too low.
No, they're crazy. What?
No, that's bullshit.
The Marvel
I mean,
was better than Iron Man 2.
Iron Man 2 has always been unfairly hated, and I don't understand why.
I agree with you. This is stupid. This is a stupid.
This
comment.
is retarded.
I mean, if anything, Iron Man 2 is a little overstuffed with side plot lines, like, Shield and everything, but
it was fun to watch.
It's fun.
It got Scarlet in the jumpsuit.
Well,
Echo.
what?
Oh my
Talk
god.
about-
Are you kidding
That
me?
should be
Better than
so
Iron Man
much
2.
Better than Iron Man 2?
Of bad.
What the
Yeah.
hell?
Oh,
Oh, and Ironheart was
Wow.
better than Echo.
Wait, Ironheart was better than Iron Man 2.
wait,
Yeah.
where is
Yeah, no.
Ironheart on this list?
Eternals.
Oh,
Yeah, well, that makes sense. It should be at the bottom, I think.
How does Iron Man 2 be so far?
I want my bird.
Well,
Captain
this-
America: Brave New World.
Yeah,
It's in the top 10 of bad.
yeah. I
Yeah,
agree.
it's bad. It's bad. Number
Brave is
44.
The Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
Nah, it wasn't as bad as
No.
some of the
I
other.
think it's one of the better Disney Plus series.
I agree.
Mm.
I thought it was,
Falcon
except for
can't get a
moments of
backbone.
cringe.
I think Agatha All Along was worse than that.
Yeah, why isn't Agatha all along
What
down on the
if-
bottom?
Oh, wait till you see where it is.
Oh, people
Oh
love
my God,
Agatha
what?
all along.
I
What? It
wouldn't
wasn't
think
bad.
about
What are you
Terrible.
talking about?
Never
kinda
saw
like
this.
it. What?
The first
I didn't
season?
see the second season.
Yeah, but time
Okay.
Age of
42.
Ultron.
Oh, they're
Ridiculous.
Oh,
smoking dope, dude.
BS.
What a ridiculous list.
Wow.
They are smoking meth.
Wow.
This is crazy.
Okay, now I'm worrying. What is it that they're putting ahead of this?
Where
Oh no,
Come
dude.
on.
Oh,
By
this
night.
is some bullshit.
Werewolf by Night, number
This is some
41.
bullshit. That was a good fucking special.
and their attempt to not make every movie the same. Like
What?
they at least tried.
What?
Thor. Yeah, they're smoking crack.
Number 40, Thor. The
The one with
original
Anthony
Thor.
Hopkins.
Look,
Wow.
Throw it all away. Throw away this whole list.
Wow.
Get out. She-Hulk.
Stop it.
She-Hulk, Attorney at Law.
She-Hulk
number
is better than
39.
Iron Man 2.
Better
Number
than Thor.
She-Hulk was
39.
better than Iron
Better
Man.
than Avengers
Where-
Age of Ultron. Oh my god.
Where they openly attacked the audience, and She-Hulk rewrote the timeline so that she could
This
have
was
Daredevil
okay.
as her boyfriend.
Yeah, I thought I liked Iron Man.
Ant-Man and Wasp was
Ant-Man
fine.
one.
It was a fine.
That was
movie.
fine. Small
That was
business.
between Infinity War and Endgame. Too.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
the best.
yeah. So Ant-Man and the Wasp, 2018.
It was the start of let's focus on Wasp and not on Ant-Man, and let's
Right.
Right.
slowly start to cuck Ant-Man and take away all his character progression.
Wow, the Fantastic Four First Steps at number 30.
Wait, Ironheart is better than that?
Get out,
Yeah.
dude.
Ironheart is better than the
And-
Fantastic
and-
Well,
Four.
we'll see where Ironheart ranks.
Where's
We're not there yet.
Agatha?
Okay, hang on. Number 36, Black Widow. Wow. That's bottom tier for sure.
It is. It sucked.
35, Iron Man 3.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of Iron Man 3. Sorry.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, I wasn't big on.
Yeah,
that
but
movie,
Ironheart is better
But
than
it's entertaining. Hey,
No.
Captain Marvel number 34. Sort of in the middle there. Number
was the,
33, the
What?
Marvel.
The Marvels is not better than Captain Marvel.
Captain Marvel is a better movie than the
But wait,
Yeah.
wait, it's also better than Werewolf by Night. Is better than. What is this? The Marvels was better than Age of Ultron.
Yeah.
Apparently so.
What
According
is
to
the
this
average
list.
age of the people who put this together?
Oh, oh,
Hey.
come on,
Come on.
bro.
Ms. Marvel
Right.
number 32.
This is a troll.
Yeah.
This whole list is a troll.
What's
I
worse,
can't
that they were
believe
allowed to
that.
put out a troll, or that they really believe this?
This
think they really
list
believe
Oh
Oh,
my God.
this
Ant-Man
is
number
a troll.
31.
Nah,
Ant-Man's
this
good.
is a fun movie.
It's a heist movie.
Peak
is
Marvel. This was fun.
This was great.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed it. We needed more tiny
Oh,
movies.
yeah.
Ironheart.
Get outta here.
Ironheart. Oh my
Ironheart
God.
better than Ant-Man. Get out of here.
She literally sold her soul to the devil.
Oh my god.
Well, it was better than Secret Invasion.
Dude, Variety is a joke, man.
Do you think
Wow.
Riri Williams shows up in Doomsday or Secret Wars? Do they wrap up her character? Or do
Hopefully, they just kill her
ignore
off.
it? Yeah.
Just
Do you
kill her
remember
off.
Kevin Feige saying that there's characters that were introduced in the last two phases that we'll just never hear from again?
Oh, did he say that?
Yeah.
Yeah, he did.
Oh.
He did.
Clearly, he might not have been talking about this one, but he did say that there's just characters we'll never hear from again, and I'm totally all right with that.
Yeah.
Captain Paperclip. I don't want to see them.
Yeah,
Doctor Strange at
Wow.
number 29.
that's a
No,
good
that's
one too.
stupid.
That's a
These
good
writers
one.
hate
Solid.
Asian.
No, Doctor Strange was better than this.
That's such a good
Solid
movie.
film, great origin story.
Yeah.
I love the ending of that, how it ended.
Yeah.
It made Doctor Strange interesting.
Yes.
Oh, no.
Thunderbolts.
Number 28.
I had
It's
fun
a
with the
mid.
movie, but it shouldn't be this high. Yeah.
Yeah.
It should be
It's
like
mid.
35.
Dude, we still haven't seen Agatha all along. It's still higher than all of
It's
this.
still higher. Okay, wait. 27, Daredevil Born Again.
Well, yeah, because Agatha is the gayest
Is it?
MCU
Yeah.
show, right?
Oh my
Oh,
god.
man, I
Your
watched this
Friendly
too.
Neighborhood Spider-Man
I
number
forgot about
How is
26.
this on the list?
This one
Why-
turned
yeah.
into like fan fiction, basically,
Wait,
with what they were doing with continuity.
This has
Oh, is this
nothing
the one
to
with the
do with
black
MCU.
Norman
Yeah.
Osborn?
Yeah. Coleman Domingo as Osborn, and then he gets his powers in a retroactive time travel way. It's so
Yeah, but it has nothing to do with the MCU.
It's-
With any of the stories from the MCU.
because of that Spider-Verse, they consider it all interlinked.
Yeah, but
Interlinked.
Spider-Verse on this movie? On this list?
Maybe.
No, it shouldn't be.
Yeah, Mom.
Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, number 25.
This should be low.
It should be, but a lot of these writers are in love with Wanda, and so they'll put anything that she's in. higher on the list.
Guardians of the Galaxy, Volume 3 at number 24.
Oh, well, that's,
Yeah, that's
all
fine.
right, I think.
Guardians Holiday Special.
Okay, now that's crazy. That is
Watch
Three?
it.
No,
Okay. Spider-Man Far From Home, number 22. Going through the list. Hawkeye,
Nah.
Disney Plus series at number 21. Hawkeye is better than everything we've mentioned.
Yeah,
That's crazy. That is crazy.
at least-
Insane.
God.
he was treated with respect, and she like liked his character, wanted to be the mentor to him. Like, yeah,
It was
It
fine,
wasn't
but
super
yeah.
disrespectful like others were.
yeah.
Black Panther, Wakanda Forever at number
No.
20.
Absolutely
Black
not.
Panther? Is that what you said?
Panther.
Try not to be racist. Just hard R is racist. You got Panther.
Yeah.
Oh my
Captain America
god.
First
Avenger number
Avenger is
19.
19.
That should be in the top 10. Top 10.
Yeah. It's super entertaining movie.
And he's top shit.
No.
Okay, Alan.
No, it's too low on the list. That is definitely top 10.
Shang-Chi and
Top
the
10.
Legend of the Ten Rings at number
Top 10.
18.
Top
That
10.
should be in the bottom 10.
I
Deadpool
love
and
it.
Wolverine, number 17.
Wait, Agatha is ahead of them?
Agatha, yeah, we still
What?
haven't seen
Yep.
Agatha. Yeah.
Nope.
Oh my
Wow,
god.
Oh,
Oh, number 16.
Oh my god.
Agatha all
Wow.
along.
Okay,
Series
hold
is
on.
Better
Did they
than
give a reason?
Because women are the like three
Read
women
this.
wrote this.
What does it
Read
say?
this.
Catherine Hahn, it was such a gas
Oh.
as a scheming witch, Agatha Harkness. on WandaVision. The Marvel built again of off-season around her and Schaefer, who also created WandaVision, makes the absolute most of the opportunity. Deftly drawn equality from equality. What? Deftly drawn equality from comic book lore.
That's how I always think of comic books, as equality lore. Wow. Okay, I'm not going to keep talking.
No.
Read the bottom of that.
Read that last line.
Read that last line.
Okay.
Which also Aubrey Plaza plays Agatha's ex-Death, which, yes, makes the show the gayest thing the Marvels have done by a country mile, and about time too, bitches.
Damn time. They're very excited.
Oh
yeah.
my God.
Dude,
The Avengers
no.
They should probably be in the top
better than
3.
Agatha. That's something, but wow.
Avengers is number 15.
Yeah.
Okay. Number 14, Spider-Man Homecoming.
I didn't like that at all. The home.
Did not love
That's
it.
the first
It was
one
fine.
with Tom Holland, right?
Yeah. Civil War.
Oh,
Captain America
come on,
Civil
man.
War.
Civil War's in top
13.
10.
Number 13. Okay. Number 12. Avengers Infinity War.
That should probably be
Top
2.
That's
It's
what?
Top 3, definitely. Top 3.
Yeah.
In top
Top
3. I
3.
agree, Alan.
Shoot.
Okay. Number 11. Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. Okay.
It was.
I
good.
liked it. I like,
No,
but I don't
Yeah.
know. Top 20, maybe.
Actually,
Low.
Loki
Yeah,
is
they
number
love Loki.
10.
Of course it is.
What are they
Yeah.
think smoking?
Well, because Loki is a gay icon. That's why.
Yeah,
I
they
think it was
love
based
Thor.
on who stars in the thing. You know,
Thor Ragnarok at number 9. We're
Fun,
getting
but
in top 10
unfortunately,
here, folks.
it set a precedent for them doing that dumb humor every single movie.
Mhm.
Iron
True.
Man 2008.
Oh my God, the original Iron Man is number 8.
Yeah, the original Iron Man number 8.
That's
Number 7, Spider-Man No Way Home.
top
Okay.
10.
It's
I
top
wouldn't
10.
put that above Iron Man 1.
X-Men
Oh my
97
God.
and number
no,
6.
that's
Part of
fair.
the
That
MCU.
is,
Which theoretically
That
isn't
is
really
kinda
part
fair.
of the MCU.
I guess they just mean things they've put out in Marvel Universe. Like, shout out to Bo, but season 2 ain't going to be what you wanted.
That's not
Captain
MCU.
America Winter Soldier.
how is that not number
5.
1?
Yeah,
How is that not number 1?
it should be in the top 3.
Top 3, definitely.
Number 4,
There you go.
WandaVision.
Come on,
What?
man.
They love Wanda. They
See,
love
it's not the stories they're ranking it. It's who
Yeah.
stars in it.
It's
It's either the
right.
character
They
or the
love
actor.
Wanda.
Bro,
Yeah.
what is
So
their
that's
number,
number
1?
4. Okay, top 3. Here
These
we
people
go.
are fucking stupid.
Number 3, the original Guardians of the
Okay,
Galaxy.
top
which
10
tells me-
definitely, but
That movie
Definitely
might
top
be
10.
more gay than we remember.
It was a great movie.
Let me get
It's
your
fine,
love.
not top 3, fine though.
Of
Black
course.
Panther,
Panther.
number 2.
why would they rank that one that way?
It's not even in the top 10, and I'm being
I'm
generous
sorry
here.
about that. Yeah, I still,
It
I still
isn't.
think it's not. It's one of the
It's
better.
top 15 for me, I think.
Yeah, I would.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great,
And
great
the number
main
1,
character.
Avengers Endgame at number
Endgame.
1.
Because they killed 2 white people in it. That's why.
Oh my God! All
We
right.
should put our
well,
own
No, it's
list
because
together
Wanda
based
had that
on
big
these
moment.
They
Against
should
Thanos.
feel shame for this list.
this list is bad.
Wow.
I think it's bad.
That's the worst MCU list. That's bad.
That's terrible.
Tired.
yeah. And
if we all went away and did our own list based on these movies and TV shows, and then trade them amongst ourselves, I wonder what it would be like.
I think we'd have crossover or
There'd be a lot
consensus
of crossover.
being
Yeah, I
in
think
like top
Secret
third,
Invasion will be the
lower
word.
third, and middle. Right.
I think our
What's in
top
the
10
middle
would
or
be
lower?
pretty similar.
Rob. What
Yeah.
were you about to
Well,
say?
you know, I was going to say, like, I think that if I think I would always have to rank Iron Man 1 as the number 1 MCU movie, because
Yeah.
if it didn't work, there would be no MCU. Kind of like if you're going to make a list of Star Wars movies, the original Star Wars has to be, I mean, it might not be better than Empire Strikes Back, but
I see your point.
Star Wars, it wouldn't exist without anything else.
Well,
You know what I
Superman
mean?
is also in that category as well. The first Superman.
Yeah, I mean, it's an interesting, obvious, but look, I'm surprised whenever I go back and watch Iron Man 1, I'm surprised at how good it really is. It's really entertaining.
It held up really well.
Yeah, and because it's really it's the story of, if you stripped the Iron Man out of it, you could still watch a man who's in crisis, who gets a crisis of conscience and realizes that his life, he's got to do something better with himself. and between Robert Downey Jr.'s star-making performance and the storyline of that character, it's a really heartwarming kind of you really like that guy and you want him to succeed.
I think the issue is, if you saw the names on the people who were judging, there were 3 women, 2 guys, which were going to be questionable guys. And Iron Man did not rate higher because it had soldering in it. And women don't understand soldering.
The gear porn of it all.
Gear porn. Exactly. Gear porn. Yeah. Well,
Alan,
my son, my younger version of the son, who's a mechanic, when Tony Stark was putting together the computerized version of his Iron Man suit, and the amalgamation of the computer animation and the stuff being made and pulled together and his foot going into the mechanism, my son, I can't tell you, he went just nuts. It was orgasmic.
And Alan, I guess here's your thoughts on this list.
He likes dick.
No idea why you would say that.
That's because it's true.
Well, I'm sure the guys who put together this list probably do.
Yeah. Well, that's going to wrap it up for us today. I want to thank everyone here for participating in this great list. Why don't you guys plug your channels? Plug your channels here. Tell us what you got going on.
Yeah, guys, Dante from Verbal Riot. Find me YouTube, Rumble, and X. I just dropped a video today about Billie Eilish being a big old racist. And you can watch my show every Thursday, 6 p.m. PST.
Stephanie, My Nerdy Home. I have some Sydney Sweeney videos coming out pretty soon. And I also have a couple of streams that I'm doing this week if you want to come and hang out with me and just chat with me in the chat.
Rob Burnett from the Burnett Work over on YouTube. I dropped what I thought was a great video last night with an author talking about who actually did a computer simulation of why modern Star Trek is not as intellectual as other Star Treks.
I watched it. It was a great stream, Robert. Awesome.
Thank you.
Paul Chato, I just want to say that Robert does not do long enough videos.
Need more rants too. Badgercast, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Today we're going to be talking about Spider-Man, all the things. Starfleet Academy. Is it canceled before it even began? I don't know. We'll find out.
Wait, we forgot to talk about Sydney Sweeney. I'm kidding. That's it. I have seen more Sydney Sweeney videos than I've ever seen. We did one where we followed Justine Bateman. A shout out to her. She does a social media video critique. Read her critiques. They're hilarious. She critiques the people that make videos about Sydney Sweeney. It's hysterical. So check that out. And we'll be back next week. Too. Yes. Thank you so much to everyone. Love having fun and chatting with you every Monday. Hope to do it again next week. And Alan, what do you got to say?
Billie Eilish is racist?
That's not it.
No, let's get out of here.